do believe we're live. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders. Thought I would just stream again this afternoon while we're working on our new chat room. It's going to be a great one, but we have to spend some time streaming in between now and then, which I don't mind at all. And we have our chat room, which is off to the right of me, so I can respond if you guys are typing to me. Hey, Star. All right, so S&P, NASDAQ, Rust, YM, which is the mini Dow, of course, the Dow itself, and the transportation average, all green all day. Not bad. It's what we were hoping to see. Hey, Dano. Release desktop sound. What does that mean, Dano? Increase desktop sound like this? Is that better? On OBS. I'll give it a whirl. So you need me to turn up. Is the voice meter better now on OBS? I turned up the meter basically almost as loud as it would get. Something I would never do in a recording. Oh, you can hear it. Okay. All right. So S&P's pushing back towards the lower end of its range today. Kind of makes sense. Give a chance and give others a chance to get in for a second try if that's what they want to do. Well, now the popping's going to be loud, yes. Because I had to turn up the volume. But what I can do is I can probably just turn off the popping in the room. I can see when you guys are typing. So I can probably go in these settings right here and make that little pop go away for a little while. Sound off. Boom. So now when you type, it shouldn't make such a loud sound in my room. So I would have us buy this dip in the S&P, but it would have to come down to my OMNI level, and it didn't do that this morning, so I don't know if it's going to do it now. Not quite an OMNI level, it's an Oscarism level. Do I think the S&P will finish on the highs like yesterday? Probably yes. I don't see why not. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't continue on. So the chat room that you're speaking to me in, Star, which is this one here, that's the YouTube chat room. But normally I spend my life in this chat room on my site. And this way I can play music and do anything I want and not be copyrighted. Because here on YouTube, anything I do, music in the background, whatever, it can be a strike against me. Yesterday, TV was on. Just the television was on in the background, which it is right now. And there must have been a Whitney Houston commercial, car commercial, whoever she sold her song to or her family did or whatever happened. They were using her song, obviously, because last night I looked in my email and it shows I was copyrighted from YouTube for playing a Whitney Houston song yesterday. It's like, boy, oh boy, can't even have the TV on in the background. Can I play 80s music? I prefer a little less than 80s, or, well, I prefer 82 and under and 80s, 88 and over. Right in the middle 80s, not for me. That was an ugly era for music. Van Halen says hi, huh? All right, not every band that was in the mid-'80s was terrible. But that Wham stuff, all that nonsense, that Flock of Seagulls, whammy type of synthesizer, keyboard, no drummer in the band type music, that was horrible. That happened from like 82 to about 87. That era was just nasty. Thomas, do you actually listen to our conversations or no? We just talked about how if I play music, I get stricken by YouTube. All right, so market-wise, not really much of a change No change in complexion. I mean, the markets have been interestingly getting back above their 50 bar moving average. NASDAQ. If it holds above that, it's very pretty. Wall Street will appreciate it. I believe there are others. Let me think about it. What else would be? I bet you the Russell is too. Russell 2000 above the 50. Well, can you guys see this? Yes, you can, right? Russell 2000 above the 50. That's 2. And if we look over here, E-mini S&P, there is no average on there. Does not matter. This is the day that we were waved off, so we really didn't take an S&P trade today. We took a gold trade, which got us 10 to 12 bucks, depending upon your fill. Maybe more by the time we get out. So really nothing happening here. Where else would we look? Well, let's just pop the 50 on there and see what it looks like. No, we are above the 50 in the ES as well, huh? It's good. Warren Buffett, I think, has like $1/3 in cash. Whatever that number is, my brain can't do that kind of math. It explodes when I try to get there. But somewhere in the $300 billion area, 333, less, more, somewhere around $1/3 that he's worth, I think, is in cash right now. That's a lot of cash. That's a lot of cash. Let's see what the Dow is doing. Dow, 19, yes. Dow is above the 50. Nice. All right. Markets are moving along. Jury is still out on. Didn't we have a chart here? Yes, gold. Jury's still out on gold. Is it a bull flag? Is it an F flag? Jury's still out. We don't know. We'll find out, but the jury is still out, so this is still a question mark. Well, I have the TV on kind of low. Can you guys hear that in the background? Because I could deal with music on that low. It would help me. Well, I see the voice meter moving, so it's getting picked up for sure. All right, is there anything else out there that we should be looking at? Not really. I mean, bonds look great. We do have a bond chart sitting somewhere. Where are the bonds? Let's see if they're here. Oh yeah, bonds looking good. That average doesn't belong in the bond chart. It's just left over from the other charts. That's good. Look at this nice run in bonds. Up, 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 up. That means interest rates are heading down. So the opposite happens when the teeter-totter goes this way. When bonds go up, interest rates go down. And bonds right now are going up. Makes interest rates go down. So this is good to see, right? We want to see this. That's crude. Nice drop in crude so far. I hope it keeps going. I don't know what happened to all my charts. I hit the wrong save button yesterday, and there's a All right, here I can show you. If I make a change, I made a serious mistake yesterday. So let's say I want to do something and I want to put a parameter in there and I say, boom, let's put this guy in there. If I hit apply to all, which I did by accident, it will, every chart, and I've got hundreds and hundreds of them, it applied the setting to every chart and just blew up all the charts that I've been working on for years. There is no way out, there's no way back. All my charts are now mislabeled, no averages, all beat up. I gotta start this over again. Here's what it is. New high dollar index. NASDAQ is now red so far. You're on to something there, Thomas. I say it's just market play for the day, but I don't know. I'm being told this to stay away, so we'll see. The ES, how low did the ES just get on that move? Let's see, what was the low on ES just now? Take any chart, find out what the low is. Just now we got down to, oh 08 and change, huh? 08 and change, oh, nice dip. So when they raise gold margin requirements, it chases out the weak hands for sure, Denny. For sure that'll happen. I don't know that there's that many weak hands in gold right now, though. It doesn't act like a market that's in disarray or running away or anything. It's just trading away. Dollar moving up like this won't help the gold, that's for sure. Apple juice, really yummy. Whatever brand apple juice this is, it's pretty yummy. So if we dip low enough, I will get us long. It's still early enough in the day. Even if Thomas thinks I shouldn't. So that was a decent hold, still midday. A little run down so far, maybe took out a few stops. Didn't really change the complexion of anything out there. Speaking about E-mini S&P. Senior prom, when's the senior prom, Dana? Chauffeur duty, huh? Ah, senior prom is tonight. That's so exciting. Which car will you be chauffeuring them in? Ah, very nice. Girlfriend? Friend? Who's he going to the prom with? Oh, yeah. It would be nice to rent the Cybertruck and take him in that. That'll be a grand entrance. Nobody has them. There is one here. Well, you don't have one, though, right? When you say there's one here, but you don't have a Cybertruck. So when you mean there's one here, what does that mean? Someone's got one in your neighborhood? A Cybertruck? So, is anybody else joining us in OmniCamp for in Naples, Florida? Any of you cats going to be joining us? Oh, my phone's on silent. It's going crazy in my pocket. Hold on a moment. Hello. Yeah, it should be okay. Okay. Okay, no problem. Bye. All right, bye. Reminds me, to-do list. We need copy paper. We need a to-do list. Okay. All right. Anything else on this crazy list? So far, so good.
What do you think, a to-do list?
Yeah, I have one every day. I write a to-do list almost every day.
Let me
Try
see.
to make it at the done list. Well, I know I need copy paper, and these are the things I need for
Okay,
going
can I
away.
have your pen? That's later.
All right, so it looks like it's going to stay green. Not much we're going to be able to do about it until tonight.
Okay.
Oh, it's unavailable, huh? The Cybertruck. Looks like Platinum's had a really strong day, huh? Look at the Platinum. Platinum had a nice day. Copper.
Dad, is it printing?
No, there's nothing printing at the moment.
Weird. Okay, I'll come back in a minute, because it said it was
Oh,
busy.
it's showing me a printer error. Hold on. Yeah, I got a printer error too.
What? A printer error.
I'll turn it off and back on and we'll straighten
Okay.
it out.
Okay, I'll come back in 5.
It's just the office streaming live, so what happens will happen. silver, above 30 is that's a Hunt Brothers run. Silver doesn't go above 30. I mean, someday it might, but it hasn't in my lifetime.
I don't know. You don't listen to TV.
Silver's going to $2,000 according to TV. Get your silver now. Get it while you can. There's almost none left.
I recorded that show about gold.
Yes.
It's still in our.
Okay.
You should watch it. It was really interesting. I didn't see it all myself, but I saw it. It was very interesting.
All right. I think we're basically done for the day. Maybe gold will pop another 3 or 4 points just to move around, but I think we're kind of done for the day. I don't see anything else to do. I've never seen it get above 30. I have a mentor that's been in the business for 40 years before I got there, and he only seen it above 30 one time ever, and that was when the Hunt Brothers moved it up. And that's been it. It's never been above it before. It hasn't been above it since. Gold is thousands of dollars higher than it was when the Hunt Brothers ran it up. Silver, which they tried to corner, still didn't go anywhere. It's still not moving. So in 40 years, silver hasn't gone anywhere. Gold's gone up thousands of dollars. Platinum has gone up about almost $1,000, or at least 700 from where it used to be. And silver's still in the same place when I started. So not a good track record for silver, as far as whether it can move higher or not. So, for this chat room, well, yes, of course, simple. Using the futures to base whether or not you want to trade Forex, absolutely you're going to need to watch all of that. But why Forex at all? Why not just trade the futures, which are safer? They don't give you both sides, so it's not a spread trade. And the clearing firms are under great scrutiny, so they can't play any shenanigans with the bids and offers. So, used to be a Forex trader, have gone to Europe to sit at Forex trading desks, Credit Agricole, Credit Leon Rouse, you name it back in the day. I don't trade Forex, I don't go near that. Big cowboy pit.
Yes.
Bop, 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 bop. So, did you see last night's video? Which is it, A or B on the gold formation? What'd you guys choose?
Check.
Okay. Do the big players purposely run stops? I mean, our stops, they don't care about. They might run each other's stops and we get caught up in the middle of it. But if you added my stop, your stop, and everybody else's stop that trades retail, they're not running retail stops. They're not big enough. They're running each other's stops sometimes, or just moving a market to seek and destroy stuff that may or may not even be there, but it's not really against us. You know, they're not looking for retail. Maybe testing the waters to see if another big firm, is got a huge position on no one knows about, and sometimes they'll probe a market just to see a reaction and see if there was a reaction at that level, and if not, maybe they assume that position. Stuff like that happens. That's much bigger than what we do. Remember, if you're Morgan Stanley and you're Goldman Sachs and you're whoever's out there that you got your money with, Ken Fish or whoever, if your clearing firm is doing a better job making money for you than mine, I'm going to move my money to that. If my friend at dinner is telling me he's getting better returns than I am with the same amount of risk in a 401k type of situation, well, then I want to put my money where his money is. And what happens is these firms are trying to compete with one another but get an edge over one another so that their clients can sit around the dinner table and discuss how they're making more money than the guy across the table from them, which might make them leave Goldman and go to Morgan or however this works out. So they're in competition with one another, not quite in competition with us retail. They don't have us. We don't give them our money. Hey, Denny, very confusing, huh? I'm with you on that. The gold right here is confusing. But that's the way it works. I mean, if there's a firm that's producing better numbers than another firm, I guarantee you some big players move to that firm producing better numbers. So they're in competition with each other much more than they care about us. We just get caught up in the middle sometimes if you don't read the graphs properly. But the good thing, Denny, is while it's sitting here resolving itself, we can trade it as often as we please. It ain't going anywhere until it resolves itself. So you get to do a little day trading in it until it resolves itself. Referring to the gold market, my trading room I'm speaking with. All right, so, and Bitcoin's just been floundering lately. Have you guys noticed? Just floundering? Let's see, I think we have somewhere in here is a Bitcoin chart. Was it 18? Yes. It's been floundering, but not looking terrible by any means. It held the do or die area the day it was supposed to. So do or die had to hold this area right here. What's that area mean? Well, you have an average and the trend line and the possible bottom all happening at the same time. So it was a do or die area. That did work. And so far, it's so good. But it's really done not a lot lately. So we just kind of wait for it to do something. It's interesting when the dollar pushes higher on days where the dollar pushes up, seems that everything gets a little nervous and can't figure out where it wants to go. On days when dollar pushes down, everything just seems to go straight up. That means dollar is at an equilibrium spot. When it moves, so does everything else. All right. Anything back here we need to share? Not at the moment. One, two, three, four, five, six. I think I've got 6 or 7 dots in Florida. I guess there's going to be another dot soon on my globe. I usually dot everywhere I've ever been. So if you see a spot on this globe, it's a place that I've gone to. There's a few spots. It's pretty dotted up in a few places. So we've done a little globe trotting. Naples. It's still nice and high, Danny. I wouldn't really worry about it too much. I'd be surprised to see gold fall apart. It's finally printed. Just heard something. Maybe not. An interesting day for Omni to have waved us off. Look at the range in S&P, 5202 to 5226, which is really small for our usual ranges. So, it's nice to see Omni knows when to tell me to back off. TV, no matter what channel you put on, there's nothing on TV but Trump and Stormy Daniels. Trump, Stormy, Stormy, Trump, Trump, Stormy, Stormy, Trump. No matter what financial channel I try to look for, so just watch. All I want to hear is quotes. All I want to talk about is markets. But no, it's one topic only. Nothing about the border, nothing about anything, nothing about my fingernail hurting. Just that one topic. So that's why I keep the TV really low. I don't want to start yelling at it. Any insights on S&P for tomorrow? Here's what I can tell you. Oh, you got the stormy news there too? Sorry to hear about it. Sorry to hear about it, guys. I'm sorry anyone has to hear about our nonsense. It's just plain U.S. nonsense. So S&P for tomorrow, I cannot answer that. Audio's breaking up. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3. How's the audio now? Testing 1 2 3. Okay. So I can't answer where the S&P will go tomorrow until I do this afternoon's OMNI analysis, and then it'll tell me what I can tell you. So if you want to ask that question after 6 p.m., I'll have an answer for you. 6 p.m. Eastern. Right now it's 2:24 Eastern. So yeah, for me to tell you what I think will happen would be me offering an opinion, and you don't want my opinion. You want me to read a chart. That would be the proper opinion. Anyway, I'm sure there's something else going on in this world than one topic. Isn't it just bizarre? Hopefully, it'll clear up soon. So grains are closed now? Just about. Yeah, all the grains are closed. They sort of had an advance yesterday, stopped today, but there was a couple of grain reports today. The WASDE report comes out at the end of the week, which is the big grain report. Sets the tone for some traders for a while. So, got to be careful in the grains this week. That report, you can't let happen without you recognizing it's going to happen that day. You bought Nvidia at 77. Where's Nvidia at the moment? Let's see. $902.91. Well, it was, you're up $74 right now. You're not allowed to be up that much in one single stock. That's not right. Good for you. Should be against the law for any stock to move that much in one day. Maybe in a holding pattern here. S&P just had a run down. It found legs. It had a run up. Maybe it needs a little hangout time. You never know, Golden. Apple News. Let's see what the Apple chart looks like. News will be in the chart. Nice. Strong chart, that Apple. Apple has been developing chips to run artificial intelligence software in data centers, according to the Wall Street Journal, which you can't believe anything in that paper, but you never know. Tuesday, a report said the chips are for AI inference, not training AI models. So it's to help AI already trained models be faster, is basically what they're saying. This sheds some light on the tech giant's AI plans, which are expected to be revealed next month at the company's annual Worldwide Developers Conference. You've been following for 11 years, Glenn? Thank you for being around, man. There's a testament right there. I haven't chased you away in 11 years. So Tim, I promise you that is absolutely, it should be what's happening right now. So I should be live on Twitter at the moment, and StockTwits, and Facebook, and YouTube, and in my trading room. and I've got software that works and everything one hit of a button, and I'm live everywhere. But over the last month or so, some changes were made to browsers that have knocked all of this out from working. So I'm only streaming on YouTube at the moment. My expert and dear friend, family friend, will be coming by this week to take care of that for me. In fact, he does all. You ever go to a concert? If you've seen any scenes of the Rolling Stones concert, any concert with all the stuff that happens on the screen in the background? Well, he takes care of all of that for Lionel Richie and for
Yes.
Shania Twain. So he works on their stuff, and he's going to come here because he hooked up this whole system for me to begin with. Thank you so much. We love you, kid. He's got a beautiful family, beautiful wife. So he hooked up this whole system for me, but over the last 2 months there were some changes, so he's going to come in and recorrect that for me. And I should be able to be live on Twitter while I'm doing this on YouTube. Although I haven't tried it since I made the corrections. I made some corrections myself, and I haven't hit that Stream Deck button. Maybe it does still work. Just next time I stream, we'll find out. Excuse me. Live with Oscar. Boop. I'm so happy that cold callers by law have to have that little boop sound. Boop. At least you can just hang up when you hear that. You know what I mean? At least then we just get to hang up. Boop. So NASDAQ, right here, right now. What would that be?
Imagine at a call center where now you know that when people hear that noise, they hang up before you even get to say it.
Oh, it's so great they forced them to use it.
No, I know that. But not if you're on the other end of that phone.
Yep. That's not a pretty bar. Close is what counts. So yes, just because NQ's having a moment in the middle of the day doesn't mean it won't settle strong. So you gotta be careful, Thomas. Settlement means a lot in NASDAQ today, for you to figure out what's coming next. Is there a possibility that gold charts a falling wedge? Memphis? Yes, absolutely, positively. Is there a chance that it's a bull flag? Yes, absolutely, positively. So it could be either of the two. That's entirely up to what it wants to do. Hi, sweetie.
Hello.
What are you doing?
Came in to ask you a question.
Do I need to mute the microphone? Uh-huh. I bet on the Golden Knights to win the other night. Was it the Knights?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
And I lost.
And Jack, I've listened to Squirtle, which he didn't.
Yeah. I'll give you this one instead. Thanks, sweetie.
Thank you.
So, yesterday I had $500 at 5 o'clock. I haven't done anything. I haven't walked out of the house. I'm down to 100. How is this possible?
What? He's listening.
Well, I paid Natalie for OmniCamp. She's my little helper. I had to give her some
I
money.
want an accounting of all that. Yeah, this is you.
Hey, Dave. Rangers tonight, huh, Dave? Yeah, I'll watch that game, no doubt. Got to get a video done too. I did last night. I did a Camtasia shoot type video, like the desktop shoot, like you're seeing now, because I wanted to watch the games with Mikey. Some good basketball games on last night. Tonight I'm in the same spot. I want to watch the hockey game, but I have to do a video.
We wanted to use some.
So where are we now? We're just about by the lows in the S&P.
Where'd you get tie-dyed kisses?
What's that?
Where'd you get tie-dyed kisses?
Oh, I don't know where those came from.
There's a piece on them.
Knick game last night was great. Wasn't that last night? Yeah, I think the Knicks played first, right? That was fun last night. Watching them come back from a deficit to win the game, it's great to see. Was it green or red today? Actually, it was sort of neutral. Yeah, it was right for Omni was right for calling a neutral. So let's do this. We're not gamblers. I'm not trading anything just cause I wanted to. So we will sim trade. We're long S&P down here. Sim trade long. Just a sim trade, kids. Because we made money in gold and I'm not giving it away on a day where Omni tells me to stay out of S&P. I'm not going to get an S&P. But we can sim trade it. In this way, we get to keep our gold profits and it doesn't matter what the S&P does. And now ES can drop to 51.10 and it wouldn't cost us a dime with sim trading. It'd be a glorious moment. So yeah, I'm just looking at if I was a gambler, I'd buy this scoop down here. You know what I mean? Well, why not buy the scoop? That's what any scalper or gambler would do. You sold your wheat calls early. Well, you know, wheat didn't have an update today. Not much of an update anyway. Wheat was down 6 points today. Maybe you were better off, Memphis. You know, calls, when market's going up, calls go up. When the market's not going in the call's direction, boy, do they drop quickly. There's the volatility just gets sucked right out of them. Well, if you sold your calls on Friday and we didn't have a good update today, because you did absolutely nothing wrong, right? Wheat. Yeah. Did absolutely nothing wrong. That's the way to handle it. On balance volume is higher on ES. On balance volume is higher on ES. Yeah, it's probably true, especially with the way it's traded the last few days. Hey, look, we're up 1.5 in S&P on our sim trade. We're gonna be sim rich. We're gonna be sim rich. You have a bear put on the S&P up here. I'm not betting against the S&P. I'm not betting on the S&P. I'm just going to trade the day-by-day Omni signals. I don't like telling a market where it's going to go. And when you don't know where it's going to go and you put on a trade based on where you want it to go, it's you telling it where it has to go. I'm not in the business of telling markets anything. When I listen, I can hear them pretty well. trading, what I hear doesn't always translate properly, but I hear them well. New high dollar index, which at the same moment would make sense, gives you a new low in the euro. Crude. I think I got in at $22. Oh, sorry. 22.47. Lots. No, I did 20 lots. You know what, Danos? Denny knows that, but he can only hear the trading part of it. He didn't hear the sim part. His brain wouldn't allow it. His brain only heard trade, trade. Oscar said trade. It's funny. I met him in person. He's a great guy. He came up to visit me in OMNI camp near Rockland, across from Rockland. I'm on YouTube. I'm streaming live right now unless something happened. I put out a video last night. I'm streaming live now. I think that qualifies for us to still be on YouTube, Orlando. 5209.5. We're up 2.5 points now, baby. My sim points are just piling up. Now, it's interesting that you're saying the mic volume's a little low. Is it still low? I don't think I could do better than this. Everything's turned up full blast. If I did a video right now, it would blow up the speakers. Yeah, sim trading is paper trading. You know, there's no need to. We've already made money today. There's no need to take a shot when we've made money. Glenn, you had a bad trade that went good on you? Well, a lot of times that's how people have made their biggest winning day. Is a mistake. How you doing, OJ? Oh, you can't lose on paper trading, Danny. You know it's going to be the best trade of the day. S&P is going to make new highs now that we sim traded at 52.06. You kidding me? It's going to be the best trade in the world. Because we sim traded it. So tell us about your big win, Glenn. Your accidental win. How's Mr. Gold looking? Still the same, right? No difference in that gold chart. I think that was 18. No. Who was gold? 21? Yeah. No changes. You know, Hung, we literally, that call was made when we were trading in the 20s, 27, 33, somewhere right around there. It made it all the way to 74. I mean, there is a possibility that 85 was 74 and 85 never gets seen on the bearish side of thinking. On the bullish side of thinking, I think 85 is a low end call and it'll go higher than that. So there's nothing yet that would negate my Bitcoin call. But of course, on every call I've ever created, I've got specific levels that if the market ever moves past that level, the call gets negated. And then if it moves down further past that level, the call actually turns into maybe the opposite call. So we're nowhere near the levels that would ask me to change my Bitcoin call. Great sound, very good, Glenn. Yeah, so I don't see anything that would change the Bitcoin call at the moment. And if you look at the chart, I mean, kind of doesn't look like it's going to crash. What's Bitcoin on? They're all over the place. Bitcoin. You know, it's not a chart that looks like it wants to crash. In fact, what would be wrong with calling this a big bull flag? Nothing really wrong with doing that either, right? Why wouldn't this be a big bull flag unless it does something that would make it not be a big bull flag? So for now, I think we're okay with Bitcoin if you're looking at the screen. Of course, that could change, right? Any time Bitcoin moves around, it could change the picture, but that's kind of what I'm looking at now. This may be a big flag. But I'm not going to say definitely yes, so the poll's off to the side. I don't impose upon markets what they're supposed to do. I try to read what they might be doing. Natural gas getting legs. You know, a lot of talk on TV the last 3 days about natural gas. I think natural gas belongs at $1, but anyone who knows me knows that that's been going on for a little while now. What is this? We want 18, 17 natural gas. When you're looking at the bigger picture, it didn't really go anywhere yet, right? Because it does tend to have these moves. Well, let's label this first, natural gas. So you got your natural gas here. Nice to see it above this smooth average because you do have that, right? Here, 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 here. Nice to see there, right? Nothing wrong with that. But the bigger picture is, if you look at what it does here, do I have a rectangle? Yes. You get these moves before it goes back down again. In here you got this little upward thing, and then it went back down. And you got another one, and it went back down. Are we in another one? At least you're above the average here. You got to be careful with something like natural gas. Does anyone remember Enron? Enron had natural gas options on a Friday afternoon, and on a Monday afternoon, stocks were gone. 401ks, see you later. Can I add more volume? Cannot. I am full. You know, screen captures aren't good because they're only good for that moment in time. As it moves forward, you don't know what it is. Yes, I could have OBS take the camera. We can experiment with that. I can just do this. But then you guys in the chat room won't hear anything. If I get rid of the camera here and tell this, use my camera please, it should turn on a camera over here. And it probably won't turn that camera on until I release it, which is a switch down here. So that switch has been thrown. It should release the camera and allow me to grab it here. And is there a camera here? No, it didn't light up. Yes, it does not want to show you my camera. I'd probably have to take down the whole setting to come back up, because it's showing me the camera, but I see that it's not showing it to you. So we'll just put this one back on, and we'll get rid of the one here. Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to do that without taking down the software and bringing it back up there now. I think there is a YouTube setting. What's that one look like? There's a chat room setting. There's a left room setting. Yep, not even in scenes can I change it. Glenn, you say you've been training your emotions out lately. It helps a lot if you put your stop in first. That helps a lot. Need a period. Am I going out to Fremont Street? Nobody in town at the moment that I would take up there. No reason to go tonight. Why, you going to be there, Cody? Oh, I can imagine you probably had a really good result for April, huh, Dana? I think, if I remember right, we traded just about every day of April. We had 2 trades that didn't win. Every other trade was a winner in April. It was a good month. This thing says OMNI April on fire. So our sim trade at 5206, 07, wherever we fakely got filled. We're up 3 full points right now, baby. Come on, I'm going out and putting a deposit down on a new Porsche. How about you? Maybe a boat.
I'm going Harry Winston.
Do you take sim points? You're going to Harry Winston, huh?
Yeah.
See if they take sim points. If they do, we're going to be rich, Lisa. Rich. Uh-oh, not anymore. It's 52:08, 09. Oh no, we're winning, we're losing, we're winning, we're losing. Emotions are written. It's a sim trade. Yeah, I usually go there. You live on Lake Mead, Cody? That's cool. Isn't Vegas a great place to live? Oh, in fact, shh, don't say that. Vegas is a terrible place to live. The weather's terrible. The people are terrible. The laws are terrible. No one moved to Vegas. You would hate it here. How's that? How's that, Cody? Let's just keep them away from our town. We don't want them to know how Vegas is. It's a terrible place, people. Look at you.
I have
Where
to
we
dress up
going?
For my jury. For my jury, you have to like dress nice and stuff. I just want to see if I can print that. I keep getting printer error.
Anyone that hears that's going to think you're going to jury duty.
Jury for music school.
I know, even Sam was saying it, like, what do you, that's what it's called. Or
It's a
how many
jury.
of us know that?
It's yeah. If you're a musician in school, you know
but
what
when
it
you're
is.
not, like,
Jury, as far as I'm concerned, is someone who you never want to be sitting in front of.
yeah, right.
I wish if they had a class where I could like be a jury, that'd be so fun.
You're old enough to be called for jury duty.
Yeah,
So,
I do it.
speaking of jury, if anyone ever lived in New York or tri-state area, Chicago, anything like that, your father should be able to teach you when you were growing up 3 simple words that if you know them, you'll always have money. Does anybody know what those 3 simple words are? 3 simple words that if you know them, you will always have money. Especially if you live in a busy city. Do you know what those are? This is easy.
Stick 'em up.
Stick 'em up. Yeah, absolutely. As long as you know that, you live in a city, you'll always have money.
Damn, why's it throwing the paper?
The thing's not up all the way.
Oh.
Just pull that thing out.
Okay. It's okay, I'm here. We're almost done. Only like one more turn.
Stops are in on that sim trade, RL. I'm sweating though.
Wait, why is it still printing? I'm gonna pick.
Did you print it more
I'm
than
gonna let her
once?
do one more, and then, okay. As I said, I don't know if it's gonna print all the ones, the previous ones, because we're gonna have a lot of prints.
Boy, she wasted paper.
No, it's so bad. It's because you have to have it for each musician.
Gotcha.
So you have to have 4 copies of each, and then 4 copies for the jurors, and
Listen, this planet doesn't need trees, honey. We'll be fine.
I feel bad. I love the trees.
What
It's not
time
right
is it? Alright, I have some driving around to do, so. I'll see you. You need anything?
No, I'm good.
now. Mom, you should become a driver. Professional.
I know.
Jeff Gordon, 24.
Did you like
There
this?
you go. Tim understands how this works.
Did you think this
Yes,
was
this was
delicious?
yummy. If you got a squeegee, you always have work under the tunnel, up by the Lincoln Tunnel. Can you have that? Yeah, absolutely.
No, they're mine. Oh, bye, Dad. Love you.
Have a great day, baby.
Thank you. I'll see you soon. It's a short day.
You're beautiful, hon.
Thank you.
So as I was saying, I had $500 in my pocket last night when I went to bed. Olivia came in this morning. I owed her money for a bet. Natalie last night, I paid her for some OMNI help she gave me. My pile is so little now. I haven't left the building yet. Two, 5, 8. All right, so it's 3 o'clock, an hour to go. Let me just walk them out and make sure that the dogs are in the right spot. That was well. I think you saw my daughter. She's the superstar, Natalie. She's the singer. You know, I could play her music for you right now and get myself copyrighted. Just like that. Boy. You know, I was hoping I lived in a country where the men paid the father-in-law for the dowry. Doesn't seem to work that way here, though. All right, I'll give her a house. That's it. One house. Anyway, let me just go let them out and make sure my dogs are in the right spots. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Then we're going out the gate. I want to make sure my dogs don't follow. So, by the way, I used to run 3 live busy chat rooms all at the same time back in the 2008, 9, 10 era when markets went nuts. I can handle this, kids, I promise. Be right back. I gave up waiting. I said, you know what? When you leave, let me know. All right, Gold's coming back. Come on, Gold. Look at all the sim points we're up now. This has been an amazing sim trade, people. You know I'm joking around. We don't sim trade here, right? We trade every day, serious trading, but we sim traded the ES because it didn't come to any Omni level I was able to trade at. But, you know, we traded gold today for real. Made some money there. Some people are still long. If you are, don't sweat it. You'll still have a chance. You're still making money. You'll have a chance to get out with a nice profit. Gold always makes you wait. It's the worst. It leaves you in a waiting pattern till the end of the day. Well, we have nothing to do now but wait, right? It's 3:08. See where they want to let this sit for the 4 o'clock close. Easier with the cat? Yeah, but they won't protect the house. Cats are one-way streets, Thomas. So a cat, if you've got a rodent problem, all right, but cat is kind of worthy of slaving to, because they'll get rid of your rodent problem. But what exactly does a cat give if you don't have a rodent problem? They want to be pet, they want to be fed, they want you. It's all you taking care of them. They go to the bathroom in your house. You got to clean their litter. They give nothing in return. They don't bark. They don't let you know when someone's in front of your house. They won't help you if someone breaks in. They don't kiss your face. They give you nothing in return. So cats, useless. They give you nothing. They just take. They make people slaves. Now, once again, you got a rodent problem, cat's the best thing in the world. Without a rodent problem, cat is nothing but labor. They give back nothing. You know, you don't have to walk them. They go to the bathroom in your house. How disrespectful is that? I'm telling you, if you really take a good look at a cat, they make humans slaves. They are way above us. Dogs, all right, dogs are your partners. Dogs will help you out. They'll pull your sled. They'll bark for you when you need it. Dog will run over and he'll heal your wounds if you get hurt. What's the cat do? What does a cat do? Nothing. Cats make great humans. They make humans great slaves. Denny said you don't have to walk them. That's why I said that. No, you don't have to walk them. There's crap in your house. And you got to clean it. My dogs never go to the bathroom in my house. They'd have to be sick. Something wrong with them. I'm upsetting the crazy cat ladies. Raise dogs, cat ladies. You'll get much more in return out of it. And then, if they have a fight, you don't even get to watch the fight. It's just a big ball of fur. You don't even get to see that. You get nothing from cats. Nothing. I don't hate cats. I just think there's a use for them. right, so looking at what we've seen today, this was a very nice showing. Market went up, couldn't find a reason to go any higher, but wouldn't go down. Decided to stay. It's good. I mean, I don't know if we're going to get a sell signal out of this. I would doubt it, but this is good to see so far. I hope we can stay up here for the close. Mohammed, how are you, sir? You know, I might know you because I took a trip to Morocco to see a dear friend of family, and we know their family well. They also trade with us. And I got picked up at the airport by Mohammed and Mohammed, two different Mohammeds at the same time. So we might know each other, sir. Really good people, by the way. I had a great time with them. An interesting story when I got to Morocco. I went there on the behest of someone following my trades way back in the early days of the internet, the early 90s, I think, 94, 95. I used to put trades out. And a really, really big entity out of Morocco started to follow me. And one day he had his daughter call me. And she invited me to come to Morocco. And I said, you know, I wasn't planning on going to Morocco, but why not? I'll show up. We'll see what happens. I get there about midnight, off the plane where I had bought duty-free cigars, wrapped in duty-free, $100 box of cigars, maybe $200 box of cigars, really nice Macanudos. Bought them in the air, duty-free, wrapped up on the plane. They hand them to me on the plane, so I carry them off the plane and go to customs. When I get to customs, they're like, as soon as they see my round eyes, I'm in big trouble. They just start ripping my luggage apart. I'd thrown it in the air. I mean, ripped it to shreds. They took every single cigar. He sees the duty-free wrapping. He goes, what's this? I goes, what do you mean, what's this? It's duty-free. I bought it on your airline up in the air. You gave it to me. He cuts it open and cuts every single cigar down the center, busts it up, throws it all in the garbage. They keep me there a good 2.5, 3 hours. It's 3:30 in the morning. And finally, Mohammed and they throw me over a fence after when all of this is done. They take what's left of my luggage, stuff sticking out everywhere. They throw it over a fence, open the fence, and let me walk through. I'm out of the airport. These two guys approach me. It's Mohammed and Mohammed. Now it's 3:45 in the morning. Oscar, we're here to pick you up. I'm like, okay. They pick me up and they put me in this wrecked white 2-door piece of crap. I'm sitting in the back seat driving through a war zone, it looks like, because there are no lights and I can't see anything, and it don't look like America. It looks like a war zone for like 2 hours they're driving. And I'm like, oh no, I didn't realize what I've done. I've submitted to a kidnapping. I didn't even give this a thought. Because I had spoken to them on the phone lots of times. I thought it was real. I'm like, oh my God, I've submitted to a kidnapping. This is what I'm thinking in the car. I'm like, how am I going to get out of this? So now I'm thinking evasive action. You got to get out of this car. Suddenly the car stops in front of a building. All right, Oscar, you're here. Go up to your room. Not dead. I'm getting to go to my room. So I go up to my room. There is no checking in. It's a hotel, but I don't check in. I just go up to my room. Flight of steps only, no elevators or anything. I open the door. There's no American bathroom. There's no toilet in there. There's just a hole in the ground with flies buzzing. I'm like, okay, what next? In the room, it's not made to be comfortable. There's a wooden board with a cot on it like this. Then that's the bedroom. Looks like a prison cell. I'm like, I was right. But I have a cell phone. Did I have a cell phone? Yeah, I had a cell phone. I call my wife. And somehow through my luggage, by the way, of all the stupid stuff that they did not find, I had a pocket knife in a suit jacket pocket inside, which they didn't find. So I go through what's left of my luggage, and I see I got a knife. I'm like, oh my God, I got a pocket knife. I take a shower. I put on a suit. I take my pocket knife out. I put my back to the door at 4 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, and I call Lisa, my wife. Hey, Lisa, this is probably the last time you're ever going to hear from me. These people, I think, have kidnapped me. I'm sitting here with my back to the door. I've got a knife in my hands. I got you on the phone. Just stay on the phone with me until they come get me, and then I'll hang up, and that'll be it for us. That's what I'm telling her on the phone. She's going, seriously? I said, well, that's what I think. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to fight my way. I promise you this. I got a knife in my hands. I'm going to fight my way out of this room if I can, but I think I'm in trouble. You know what I mean? I think I walked into something stupid. And then, about 6:30, 7 in the morning, I am still on the phone with Lisa. My back's still to the door, knife in hand. The phone rings. Hello, Oscar. It's Miss Asma, the same girl who invited me down. Yes. Are you ready? I look in the mirror. I got my suit on. I put my knife away. Yeah, I'm ready. She goes, well, come on down. We're waiting for you. All right. So I'm like, wow, the sun's rising. I'm not dead. I open the door, stick my head out. I don't see anything. All right. I walk out the door, down the steps, out to the front. No one stops me. I make it to the street, and there's this monster stretch limo waiting for me. I get picked up in the limo, whisked off to a castle, and there the vacation, the Moroccan experience began. But that was that was my first day when I got there. It wasn't even a day yet when I landed. That was my first experience. And you know, sometimes you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. So that's what made me think I was done. I'm dead. See you later. I'm definitely going to be kidnapped for ransom. So anyway, that was the beginning of the trip. It got much better from there. But I decided to go back again. A second invite. They invited me again. This time I took my wife, my daughter Olivia, and my Uncle Jack. If you guys know Uncle Jack, he was the right guy to bring. Brought him for protection. And Jack, I don't need protection. I've been there already for 2 weeks. We are safe there. But I'm going to be going to meetings and going to work all day. You need to watch my family. So I bring Jack and my kids there, my wife and daughter. And what happens this time around is slightly different. We land at the airport and they go, Mr. Carboni, the Al-Ali family awaits you. And no check. They didn't ask for my ID. They didn't open up anything. They opened the gates and escorted us to a car. So what happened to me the first time, I reported this to the people that I was there for. King Father was his name. Said King Father had a little problem at the airport. He said, what did you have? I told him the problem I had at the airport. He said, Oscar, you ever come back to my country, you'll never have a problem at this airport again. Well, 8 months later, I was on my way back, and I didn't have a single problem at the airport. In fact, they treated me like I was royalty. The stories are vast and fun, but I don't know if I'm going to tell them right now. But interesting trip. Interesting set of trips to Morocco. Wonderful family, wonderful hosts, fantastic people. Family man, guy who, King Father, I mean, just not what you'd expect. Really, really good people. And I am still friends with them till this day. In fact, just 2 days ago on Facebook, Miss Asma, who contacted me to begin with, she was an 18-year-old girl back then, was like, Oscar, I miss you guys so much, because she came up and lived with my family her and her sister came to live with my family for a couple of months. Her father, for the first time in these girls' lives, his 18 and 19-year-old daughters, he sent them all the way to America to live in my home with my wife and kids without bodyguards. They were the first time they ever went anywhere without bodyguards, ever. He said, after meeting you, I entrust you with my daughters, and he sent them to my house. Could you imagine? They were like, Oscar, what did you tell King Father? We have no security. He said, I didn't tell him anything. I just told him I'd accept you guys. I don't know. I think he knows you're going to be safe with me. So I was in Morocco one morning, same trip, one of the two trips. I think it was the first trip. And this King Father's a really nice dad to his kids. He's got 7 kids, a bunch of boys, a couple of girls. His 7 or 8-year-old son opens the refrigerator door one morning, doesn't see any orange juice. Dad, we need orange juice. Oh, we need orange juice? Well, you know what? Let's go. I'll take a ride. We'll go buy some orange juice. All right. We take a ride, hour and a half, 2 hours deep. And he buys like a 700-acre orange juice farm. Right there and then. Just buys it outright. Now we have juice every day. And that day, we owned an orange juice farm. $3.22. Still time. Still time to jot this thing around a little bit. Oh no, see this song in the background? This is going to get me in trouble. Guarantee you this song gets me in trouble. The Jardian song is going to get me copyrighted. It's the first song I've heard on TV so far in the background. They're going to copyright me today. Oscar, you're playing music. It's not allowed. Anybody ever been to Morocco? I went to Agadir, Casablanca, city in between both, but I don't remember what it was. Marrakesh. And you know those monkeys in Marrakesh really do steal stuff from your pocketbooks? They're so smart, it's incredible. Sim traded at 52.06.07. It's 52.13. We got a pile of sim dollars building up, kids. Can't wait to spend them on the make-believe sim store that we could spend our sim points at. You hear constant beeping? There's no beeping here, sir. The only time you'll hear a beep is if I type in my chat room and I'm going to write test and hit it. And I turned off the beeping sound so you guys wouldn't hear that. So I don't know what you're hearing. Vegas cam is on silent. That can't be beeping. Here, there's a difference. When Vegas cam is on, people can hear me speak through Vegas cam. But that's off right now. Could be in your place. Yeah, now there is an absolute. If you're hearing a beep and no one else in the room is hearing a beep, it must be you, brother. Alright, so there's no chart to pull up that would look any different than the charts we looked at earlier, so there's nothing to do there. And I don't look at charts during the day really anyway. I look at this ticker board and I build charts in my head, but I don't need to look at charts. I just want to see where everything was ticking, and it's good for me. It's not emitting a signal, it's letting people know I'm broadcasting, but the microphone's off. Oscar 1 would probably show the same thing. This is live. It's live as it happens. Welcome, Summer. Yes, I've been told my voice is low. I don't know where you guys need to turn that volume up. I am literally at high end here. My volumes are up as high as they can go, so I can't give you any more from here. Oh, yeah, that's as high as we can go. Huh. You know, I know that if I change the microphone, if I change this scene and I get rid of the chat room and just have the camera on, that broadcast, then it would be loud, be too loud with the settings I have. But running it through the chat room, it appears that in some way, shape, or form, it makes it lower. I don't know what that is. I'm sure that when my buddy comes by, I have an expert that handles the hookups of Stream Deck and live streaming. When he comes by, I'm sure he'll set all my levels properly. Well, you would think that, but every other thing I do, every show I do, every video I've ever done, everything, I'm this far away from that mic and it works out just fine. So it's got to be something other than that. And I don't want to move things because then everything else I do will be over. It'll be too loud. It's something happening here. So next week, 6 days in Spain and Costa Rica, you won an auction. 400 euros gave you that. Wow, nice win. It was a nice auction. I won a signed Devontae Adams football with authentication that it was him who signed it for $350 at a silent auction a couple of weeks ago. Pan W, Kent Jones. Can I look at Pan W from here? I don't know that I have the proper. Well, let's see what happens. I'll see if I get Pan W chart up for you. So let's think about this. All the ladies in the house have left. At least I think they did. No one's prepared lunch for me. I'm just going to have to go straight through without eating. You asked me for Pan W, right? I don't know what this is going to look like. But I should have one sitting here. There's a Pan W here. Another one here. Let's see what this one looks like. There's an old chart that I haven't looked at in a little while, so it's not neutral at the moment. I don't know what it would be. I didn't do an OMNI on it. Let's just see where it is. Here it worked. Here it worked. Seems to, get back to where you were. Seems to have worked here. And it just gets fuzzy after that. It stops working. It just doesn't work anymore. Now it's broken. Useless. Worked well for a while, but if you ask me, that's useless. Live Oscar. Of course it is. Wow, that worked for a long time, but it doesn't work anymore. It's useless. It's something new. My kids upstairs can hear you. So, we'll have to do something about this. It's no longer the 9. Does not work anymore. was good till here. Let's see. Stopped working right there. It just broke. This is the spot it broke at. It just doesn't work anymore. Now it's useless. Well, that's a shame. That was working well for a long time. Rivian? Are they not out of business yet? RIVN. They're not out of business, huh? Last time I looked at that chart, it looked like a company going out of business. Do I have one? I don't see one coming up. No, I don't see it there. No, I probably have to pull a new Rivian chart. I could be doing it. These are all the charts I have, but I could be going on forever. We go down to the R's. No, no Rivian. Could be .o. It might not pop up yet. I might have to go search for it. No, boom. Let's apply a template. The webinar template. Boom. Yuck. There's nothing nice about this at all except for that little hook right there. Flag, left an island reversal. Did we actually fill that reversal? Let's look. Never filled it. Never filled the gap. Yuck. Nasty chart. That, my friends, is ugly. Ugly, 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 ugly chart. God, it's sitting. I could see it without drawing it, but it's sitting in a nasty channel here. Top end's a little crooked, the bottom end's perfect. Yuck. So with that in mind, if it crossed all those boundaries, it should get, I mean, I don't know, try to get somewhere back around 13. Probably that report will get, the average will top out that report. Nothing I would want to have in my portfolio. And if we just do something simple, like connect these lows down here, it still has more room to bounce and hit that bottom, right? So, not pretty. Look at Lucid. It's gonna look just as ugly. Let's see if I have it. Oh wait, let me save Rivian. Lucid is LCID, right? If I remember right. Lucid, no chart, pre-save. Well, it probably is, but it's got a number in front of it, so I'll never find it like this. Let's pull a new one. Just about as ugly. Well, about the only people who would belong this are its parents. You'd have to be its mother or father to look at this chart and think it's pretty still. Right? Only a parent can see such an ugly child and think it's beautiful. Well, that would be a parent. You look at this chart, and unless you're a parent of that chart, it's not pretty. Doesn't mean it can't go up a few points, but where's it going to go, from 3 to 4? It ain't going nowhere. It looks terrible, technically. RCON. You want me to look at RCON? RCON. Wow. Wow. It's a big number there, though. Alright. Let me see if I have. I don't think I have a raccoon chart. Doesn't sound familiar to me. Nothing I've been messing with. We'll just pull it up. RCON. Well, it actually came up. And we'll do a template and see what it looks like. I will say you guys are really wasting my time. What is this craziness that you guys get yourselves involved in? Why would anyone trade this stock? I'm sorry that you have this in your portfolio, sir. I can't have an opinion of this. Alright, I can't. The only opinion I could possibly tell you is it's an ugly, nasty, monstrous bear flag. What else could this thing be? Let me see if I have, which I normally won't use a lot, but let me see if I have some channel locks for you here. No, I don't even see channels because I don't bother using them. I do on YouTube. Maybe I could just draw it. We don't want GAN, we don't want fans, we don't want any of this nonsense. None of this either. No channels? Come on now. Alright. I'll just draw it myself. Draw a parallel for me, please. This line on the bottom is just as ugly as the one at the top. Where do you want to put it here? We can drop it there. I can extend that right. And they ain't nothing but a nasty old possible bear flag. Alright, so if we go like this, and we get rid of that extension, make it a little fatter, boom, boom, boom. See what I mean? I mean, what's here? If you had to stretch the imagination, you'd have to call that a monstrous, ridiculously big bear flag. So I personally wouldn't go near this. I won't even save that chart. Sorry, buddy. It's just not for me. It's 3:41. All right, about 4 or 5 more minutes. We'll the Wall Street will decide whether or not they have to get delta neutral by buying selling or doing nothing, which is the three things that they have to figure out in the last 15 minutes of each day. What is delta neutral? Buying, selling, or do you have to just kind of lay off a little bit? So we'll see that in the next 15, 20 minutes before we close. And zero changes to our charts. Just looking at the board, they look exactly like they did yesterday. Probably waving me off once again too, I don't know, but Omni might wave me off again. And if it does, I'll heed its warning. So anybody, any other plans except for trading tonight? Anybody going to be around for the night session? It appears for the last 9, 10, maybe longer months, some of the best movement or some of the movement that allows us to get filled happens at night. I end up working for the entire night, which is odd because about 9 months ago it used to be the opposite. I could sleep at night because nothing would happen at night, and then the day is when all the action took place. But now, for the last, I don't know, it feels like every night we get some kind of fill at night. So I've been working a lot of night hours. JEF and F Wonk, huh? F Wonk I've heard of, but not JEF. It's JEF. Well, I shouldn't say I haven't heard of it. I don't think I've ever analyzed it. I'm not saving that crazy chart. JEF. Oh, Jeffries, I know what this is. I'm sorry. I just haven't looked at it in 1,000 years. I know what this is. Well, that's worth having in your portfolio. That's a beautiful looking chart. Just finished off an inverted head and shoulders, on its way for more. Nothing wrong with that chart. I like it. That looks strong. What about V? We looked at that the other day. We should have a chart sitting here somewhere. Was it VZ or V? Let's see what VZ looks like. Being that it showed up first. Verizon still looks as stupid as it did yesterday. V. I don't know what this is going to be. Visa. Visa Class A ordinary shares. Well, that looks decent. Well, that's a decent chart. Trajectory shows it wants to go higher. Everything about it shows it wants to go higher. Nothing goes straight up. It's had a nice size pullback already. It has decent sized pullbacks whenever it has a pullback. Big pullbacks. I don't hate that. If you forced me to put something in my portfolio, I'd rather it be this than the other ones we were looking at. Well, Jeffries look good. Not much to say there. And I should be in Visa right now. I could just save it, right? File, save as, V, yes, save, done. So, at the end of the day, it looks like they're going to buy it a little bit, huh? The Bitcoin halving happened already. That's old news. That happened in April. Someone in the trading room asked me, where's Bitcoin going after the halving? But that happened already. But halving simply means we're now starting to produce less. And the next halving means we're now starting to produce even less. And the next halving will be the end of it, basically. And that means they're producing no more. And that means if you weren't smart enough to have a Bitcoin and put that Rembrandt, if you will, on your wall and wait for Rembrandt to die and he stops painting, if you weren't paying attention, you weren't paying attention. There's not going to be any more paintings of Bitcoin, so to speak. Let's call Bitcoin a painter. Right now, you walk past the window, guy lives on a block, and he does paintings for $63,000 a painting. You buy it out the window for $63,000. What exactly happens to the value of those paintings when he dies? And he can't paint another one. What do you think will happen to the value of the paintings? Anyone have a clue or a comment on what would happen to the value of the paintings? If they were worth $63,000 a painting while the painter was alive still painting them, then he dies. What do you think happens to the value of those paintings? They go up, right? What do you think happens when the painter of Bitcoin dies? Do you think they're going to get cheaper? You have missed it if you don't own one. Even one. All you need is one. Have it on your wall. Have your Rembrandt on your wall. If you do that, you won't regret it a few years from now. All right, just an opinion here, right? But I'm speaking where my mouth is. In fact, I carry my Bitcoin on me wherever I go. I got my Bitcoin right here. But I put my money where my mouth is. I have Bitcoin, so I can tell you that. Bitcoin's for fools, huh? It's interesting. I have to say, Seven, I got respect for you. You're a good kid. But when you speak to all the geniuses on Wall Street, including my friends, me included in this mix, and you tell us that we're being fooled by a fake thing called Bitcoin, it's a little bit insulting. It's just a little insulting. Just a little. Those in my pocket? Oh, that's a different story. No, what's in my pocket's way better than Bitcoin. This Bitcoin, I would need a computer or a phone or a way to use it. But this is a Krugerrand, gold Krugerrand. I can always use this whenever I want. And this is a silver dollar, which have been in my pockets. I started in the silver and gold pits, trading, screaming, rah! So I've carried these for basically my entire career. I keep between them a guitar pick. A, doesn't let them get scratched up in my front pocket. B, my daughter's a musician, and it's happened more than once already where we're in a studio, and she's like, Dad, I need a guitar pick. And I go, what'd you say? I've got a guitar pick, too. Those are actuals. Now this is something I got from Gerald Metals when I used to be at Gerald Metals. Copper, silver, gold. What else did I execute for them? Platinum and options on all of those. I used to be the executing broker for Gerald Metals in all those markets. And one day they gave out these really cool buy and sell coins. Many, many moons ago. I mean, this is a ridiculously old relic. But they gave, and they're nice, thick, solid, heavy, ba-boom, you know what I mean? Drop them and you break the glass on the desk, solid. And they come in this nice little wooden holder. And what that really is this is what I teach you if you come to OMNICAMP. When I say everybody gets a computer, they don't really get a computer. I send them home with this. And I teach them how many times to flip it and what the odds are, and that's OMNICAMP. OMNICAMP's is simple. If you know how to flip a coin, you can come to OMNICAMP. That's my secret, kids. Ow! I almost broke my glass. Almost broke the glass on my desk. And then this, look at the S&P at 52.18. Where'd we get long sim like 52.067? We're rich. I told you we were gonna get rich on the sim trade, kids. I always win on sim trades. It's so easy. All right. 10 ounces gold. Can you guys see that? Prudential Base gave these out on the trading floor one year. Pretty cool, right? So I've always had this. It's got its stamp on it, stamp of approval. I've always had this sitting on my desk with the rest of my museum pieces. And then this, of course, is nothing at all. It just happens to be a gold hat that my daughter tells me brings us luck. So we have a gold hat too. When gold broke $100 an ounce, that was before me. When I got to the exchange, gold was in the 200s. So it's before my time. I can't answer that. All right, so I also carry this gold pen from Russia. It's been in my pockets for, I don't know now. Let's see, when I met Sergey, 1987. I've probably had this in my pocket since 1987. I actually went to Russia one year and had it repenned and refixed in person in Russia. Because it came from Russia. It's actual gold pen. And then in this pocket, for my whole entire career, I've been carrying this gold pen. This one's special because this one was given to me by my beloved mother-in-law. And the day I became a broker, she had this inscribed. It's got my badge on it right there, which you guys probably can't see. But it's got my badge on there. It says OSCR, just like what I'm wearing. And I've used this gold pen for my entire career. Which is why I need jackets with inside pockets from yesterday's story. Yeah, I don't blame you. Speaking of flasks, you ever see the flask I like to carry around with me? I put my alcohol in this. It's the OMNI snake oil flask. You like it? We made this literally out of a bottle with rope and glue. And then I made a sticker for it. It's my flask. I leave it in my inside pockets. And when I can't figure out where the markets go, I break out my Omni snake oil. Gluck, 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 and I can figure it all out. See, I'm always thinking outside the box, guys. That's why I'm good at this. I've got my coin to flip. I've got my snake oil. Hey, we got rosary beads over here somewhere, even though God doesn't like praying. When it comes to trading, he won't listen. But, you know, we got them here just in case we need them. We don't really use charts or anything. I do some white magic. I do some chicken bone stuff. You know, a little voodoo. It's not about technical analysis, I promise. What else is back here that might help us today? Oh, this guy. Now this guy is cool. I must have got this 30 years ago. I think there weren't cell phones when I got this at a convention in New York City. And how cool is that? Well, maybe, you know what? I was in Chicago when I got this. The bull's head pops out. I have a pager upstairs. A market minder pager. 7 says he remembers pagers. I had a market minder pager. I used to walk around the city getting quotes. And then, of course, when all else fails, right? When I'm trying to come up with a trade, and I'm flipping my coin, buy, sell, nothing comes out, I don't know what's wrong with that. And I got the chicken bones and I'm mixing stuff, you know, and I'm trying to figure out the voodoo omni. When all of that fails, of course we don't pull up a chart. We break out the crystal ball. And then, you know, if the crystal ball doesn't tell me what price we're going to get in or out at, then I just call a neutral omni. So that's how, if you wanted to ever know how I get a neutral omni, you know, if the coin flipping's not working and the chicken bone stuff and the white magic doesn't go well, we take this out. Now, there's a Ouija board that we'll pull from time to time, but last resort is the crystal ball. Then we pull a neutral omni. In case any of you were ever wondering, if you wanted me to pull the curtain back on how I get this analysis done, now you guys know. Well, 7, I have a question for you. You keep mentioning pagers. You've got a friend, you look over, you've got a friend, and he's wearing 2 pagers. What's he do for a living? This is back in the day when pagers were the thing. So back in the day when pagers were new, you look over and you see a friend with wearing 2 pagers. What's he do for a living? Drug dealer, exactly. Dano's paying attention to the world. Anytime you've seen a friend with more than 1 beeper, I assure you he was selling drugs to somebody. Or a pimp, all right. That's still some form of a drug in some way, isn't it? I had a magic 8 ball, but you know, it only got through about 10,000 trades, and then the water fell out and it broke apart. So now we got to use that stupid crystal ball. But we had the 8 ball for a while. You know, the Omni all started with that. You know, when in grade school when you learn how to do the thing with the numbers, flip, 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 and you look inside and see what it tells you. That's where the Omni it all started there, back in the day. Markets are closed, yes they are. Woo! So they took S&P all the way up to 52.19 on that little foray, huh? All right, for us traders who held on to any runners, actually, I'm just going to get out of my runner now because that's what I feel like doing. In gold. Oh, there it is. I will get out of my runner right here, and then I'll send you guys a flash to get out of your runners. Let me out. Cancel stops. I'll send you guys a flash. Do the same if you don't mind. You can stay until the close. It'll probably go up another couple of bucks. But I'll send you a gold flash. you know, try to get yourselves out around 23, 25 ish. You know what I mean? Just take your profits there. I'll send you a flash on that. Oh, caps lock. That's gonna look ugly. Come on. Alright. I'm in no rush, that's why I didn't type very quickly. We're in no rush to bail out, kids. Just get yourselves out and we'll reset for the day. Flash update is flying. You guys should have received it on Discord already. Yes, you have. It's on Discord already. Alright, so far the week's been good to us. Let's hope tomorrow produces another winning day. Viva la Omni. Thank you, Omni. Alright, we did fine. I did not, because if I do that, it'll be on this camera. It'd be nice to see you, Stacy. Alright, so where are we? 4:04. I think I can take a break, right? Alright, kids, I think I'm going to take a break here. Get some lunch and then come back and see what we can do for the night markets. Thank you all for tuning in. This is great. I will do this every day. Just come hang out with me. And we'll see what we can learn together. Hopefully make a few bucks along the way. So, stops are in, emotions are out. Remember that, kids, right? I'll see you in a little while.